For now, though, let's move on to another issue then that indeed continues to plague Gauteng. The province's Transport Department has launched a public transport inspectorate. That's to address ongoing violence in the taxi industry. Now, this move follows a surge in reports from e-hailing drivers in Johannesburg alleging violent attacks and robberies by minibus taxi associations. Now, violence has long plagued the sector, with rival associations clashing over lucrative routes. Now, the rise in e-hailing services has indeed intensified tensions as minibus operators view them as a financial threat due to their safer and more flexible alternatives. Gauteng MEC for Roads and Transport, Kedibone Diale-Tlabela, then joins us live now as well. MEC, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. I know it's certainly a busy time then for you. So let's get straight into it, if you will. Just tell us more about this inspectorate and what exactly it's meant to entail.
Thank you very much. You'd remember that during the Easter period, we had reported to people of Gauteng that statistics on taxi violence-related deaths were around 59 to 61 people. And we, as a provincial government, have seen it fit that we should find better ways to deal with taxi violence in our province. And in responding to that, we were putting together an anti-taxi violence strategy. And one of the things that we, together with the Gauteng taxi industry, agreed upon is to enforce the law. And by doing so, we partnered with RTMC to assist us in this regard. So the RTMC has deployed around 98 officials to our province in our department to assist us in dealing with the hotspots being Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, as well as the West Rand, and to an extent Tshwane. And really, these young men and women who are coming from Gauteng, of course, are doing a great job in assisting us. It's not only to the taxi violence, but also monitoring of public transport in our province.
Yeah.
And amongst others, we also are to establish an intelligence unit to assist us gather information as it relates to this taxi violence. And the other thing is the dispute. You know that amongst others, they claim that part of what makes them fight is dispute over routes and generally challenges that the taxi industry in the taxi ranks are faced with.
Yeah, I mean, people will probably want action, though, on this then. And while this may be put in place, the question mark is whether this inspectorate will have prosecutorial powers, ultimately being able to prosecute any perpetrators and offenders. Will it have any ability to do that, or is this just a conduit to getting that done?
Remember, we have different arms of the state that lies with the judiciary. These are law enforcers that will assist us in enforcing the law and also apprehending those who have committed illegal activities if found and be submitted to the judicial system.
Yeah. Improving coordination then between the department, South African Police Service, Metro Police as well, on transport-related crimes. Is this what you're trying to do here? Because this is a long-standing issue. It's not the first time, of course, this conversation has ultimately happened, and it feels like the solutions just keep on spreading, or the muted solutions, and yet nothing actually happens, including earlier on where you had spoken about the closure of taxi ranks. How is that faring?
Remember, we launched an integrated approach to policing in our province. I think you have seen our premier moving around with our Metro Police as well as District Police. And taxi-related issues are also part of that crime combating strategy of our province. We call it borderless policing. And this specific inspectorate is to help us deal with the challenges we're faced with within the taxi industry, the violence, the conflict, the intimidations that continue to happen there. So this is part of the bigger strategy itself. Like I said, that we are looking into a multi-pronged approach to dealing with taxi violence in our province.
Yeah, let's talk also about the roads. I mean, apparently only 47% of surfaced roads are in fair condition and 100% of gravel roads are in poor condition. Is there a timeline with regards to improving our roads?
Yes, and we'd like to invite you to join us and help monitor on behalf of people of Gauteng. We have a clear program on routine road maintenance in on our provincial roads network. You also we've been encouraging municipalities to also take responsibility on their road network. And I think you have seen City of Tshwane, City of Johannesburg ramping up their routine road maintenance. We have been given and allocated resources to push some of this route that we had. Remember, one of the things that we did, that 47% you got from our report, we appointed CSIR to do condition assessment of our provincial road network. We are now assisting some of the municipalities to also know what is the state of their roads, not by only seeing potholes, but quantifying what is the state, how is the condition, and what needs to be done. So you'll see us mostly doing rehabilitation as well as resealing to make sure that we fix and ensure proper maintenance of our road network.
Yeah, I mean, one wonders whether a resealing or whether a resurfacing should actually be at play here, because I believe those may be two separate things, but one understands perhaps there's cost implications to that as well. Can I just go back to an issue and question as well the closure of those taxi ranks, whether that is indeed happening? I remember that was an intention that you had laid forward right here on the channel when you were in studio with us. Are you able to share further details with regards to the closure of those taxi ranks in order to get all those taxi associations to the negotiating table and speaking about things like taxi violence a whole lot clearer?
With specific to Water and Nandue, they are in the arbitration table as we speak. And then the others, we have what I said to yourselves, it's a crisis committee meetings on Fridays. And we sit with these associations. Of course, the issues differ from one association to another. And that's why you heard us in our budget speech speaking about strengthening the dispute resolution unit to make sure that we resolve the issues. It's quite a difficult one, but we are working hard to resolve the issues. What we are happy about is the response by some of the taxi association participating in the processes that we have set aside and platforms that we have set aside for them to can be able to engage each other. We are also dealing with the challenges that were there within the department. Remember, I also took responsibility of some of the issues and challenges posed by the department itself. And one of the things that we have done now, we are automating the application of operating licenses. And I think there has been a positive response from the industry itself. And I think we will be able to, at some point, reduce taxi violence related challenges that we are faced with.
Yeah. MEC, so much that we could certainly unpack, but appreciate the time. Thank you so much for continuously giving us these updates. Of course, then very important to see the action at play, so we'll continue to monitor that with you then. That's the Gauteng MEC for Roads and Transport there, speaking to us about taxi violence and ultimately all the measures that they have then put in place. Kedibone, Diale-Tlabela.